Okay. I'd like to call to order February meeting. Pikes Rural Transportation Authority. I think we have a quorum here present. Item 2 would be approval of the agenda. Oh yeah. Is there any changes?
Mayor Dixon, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 3, public comment. Fine. Room. Okay. Item 4, approval of the minutes for the January 14th, 2026 meeting.
Brian Risley, City of Colorado Springs, I would move that we approve them as presented. Okay.
Mayor Dixon, I'll second.
Okay. Been moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, our Citizens Advisory Committee, our monthly report. Take it away, Jim.
Good morning, members of the board. Jim Godfrey, Chair of the Citizens Advisory Committee. So our meeting last week went very well. City of Colorado Springs had 7 contracts. They're in your packet. Some questions asked. As usual, the city did a great job of presenting information. A few questions asked, nothing controversial, and we recommend that you approve their request. They also had a line item transfer, moving some money around, finishing up projects, cleaning out those files and putting them on South Academy where they need the money. That right, South Academy? Fontenero, sorry. And so we, no discussion there or any disagreement. We recommend approval of that as well. El Paso County had 4 contracts. No issues with any of them. We make a recommendation you approve their request. And the city of Manitou Springs had 1 contract. Great presentation, pictures on Lover's Lane showing that wall and some of the corrective action. And this was for the design, I think, of that contract. And so if those pictures are in your packet, it's a wonder that that wall is still standing in some places. But anyway, we recommend that you approve their request as well. The other thing is the maintenance of effort reports were due, and they're in your packet. Everyone was in compliance, and so we recommend that as well. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for the CAC? Okay. What would the board like to do with this?
Motion to approve.
Mayor Dixon, I'll move to accept.
To accept.
Second. Lauren Nelson.
Seconded. No other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you for your work. Item 6, financial report.
Lisa Corey, Finance Manager for the PPRTA. Does anyone need a copy of the financials? All right, for the month of December, we collected $14,857,617, which came in above the monthly budget by $1,227,345, or 9%. Overall for the year, we came in above budget by 5.5%, with $8,316,540 over budget for the annual total. Comparing December of 24 to December of 25, we collected more in 25 by $638,755, or 4.5%. And for the annual total, we came in 1.2% higher, or $1,839,151. Any questions?
Okay, seeing no questions. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Item 7, for capital maintenance and public transportation contracts. Item 7A, City of Colorado Springs.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Gail Studevant with the City of Colorado Springs. As Mr. Godfrey mentioned, the city has 7 contracts for the board's consideration today. The first contract is for a PPRTA 2 project, is for the Academy Boulevard between Fountain and the Oak Parkway. There is a map included in your packet. This is to a change order to add engineering services during construction, along with some additional public involvement and some reviews, some traffic changes the city has requested for with the AECom in the amount of $256,847. The city's second contract is for a PPRTA 2 capital program. It's a Rock Island Trail Improvements Program. There is a map included in your packet, and this will focus on construction work on the Rock Island Trail between Sand Creek and Constitution. With 1.1 million PPRT dollars will be added with both grant money and the city's trails and open space or TOPS funding for a total amount of $4,034,410.70. And this is for construction work. And the Parks Department did go through an IFB to be able to compete that and selected SEMA Construction for that work. The city's third contract is for a bridge maintenance project. This is the Old Ranch Road Bridge over Kettle Creek. There's a map included in your packet, and this bridge sits just a little bit to the east of Voyager Parkway, there on Old Ranch Road, kind of the dip if you're familiar with that particular area. The city has been going through and doing a rehab and widening on that particular bridge. We did have a water line that was identified that was not on the original set of plans. And then we have contracted to attain right-of-way services and a new retaining wall with Hardesty and Hanover. So the total change order amount is going to be for $236,400 or $248.43, and $80,000 of that will be coming from Colorado Springs Utilities. I'm going to describe the projects under contracts 4 and 5 together. They are also bridge maintenance contracts. There's a map included in your package, and this is for the Cashlaputer Bridge that goes over Monument Creek. So this sits behind Colorado College. It's Cashlaputer on one side and Mesa on the other side. It's near, crosses the creek there and has Monument Valley Park on both sides of the bridge. So like I said, there is a map included in your packet. The first contract, or contract 4, is for construction services. The city went through an RFP process, and we had 3 respondents. We selected SEMA Construction, and the construction price for that is $4,125,727.28. Contract 5 is the construction management and inspection services for that project. City also went through an RFP process where we had 5 respondents. We selected basis partners for those services and the amount of $497,839. The city's 6th contract is for our sidewalk vertical displacement mitigation program. The city went through an RFP process where we did have 1 respondent. The 1 respondent is precision concrete cutting. We did a price analysis and determined that it was still in the city's best interest to be able to proceed with this contract. This would be putting a contract in place for a not to exceed value of $300,000, and the city has identified approximately 100 locations where these services will be located throughout the city. And the city's 7th contract is for asphalt overlay services or construction services associated with that. The city went through an RFP process where we had 9 respondents. We want to put a contract in place with 8 of those 9, and the 8 are listed in your memo. And then future task orders could be issued on that contract as budget and needs allow. Those are the city's 7 contracts, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Any questions for the city?
Mayor Dixon, I'll move to approve item 7A.
Okay. Motion,
I'll second.
second. Okay. Nothing under question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 7B, City of Colorado Springs capital projects and line item transfers.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, as Mr. Godfrey mentioned, we are proposing a line item transfer for PPRTA two program funds. These funds are coming from 3 existing traffic programs, and as we're closing those out, we're going to be putting them into some traffic programs that have some remaining work that they're wrapping up that had RTA $2 in them already, or we're putting it into the A-list project, which is the UPRR mainline railroad bridge that goes over Cotton Arrow. So the first 3 rows on the second page of that memo come from the intersection improvement program. The first row has $170,000 going in on-street bike, and that's to help continue for local match requirements for grants. The second one goes into roadway safety and traffic operations to finish up work that's planned in there in the amount of $113,500. And then the remaining monies would go into the Cotton Arrow Bridge project, replacement project, which is our last remaining LS project to start construction. So we need to get there. And that's in the amount of $586,500. And then starting to close out 2 other PPRTA 2 programs. The first one is congestion incident management, $45,000 going to that Cotton Arrow Bridge project. And the other one is traffic signal upgrade. And that work has been complete under the RTA2 program, and that's also going to the Cotton Arrow Bridge. So the total line item transfer is for $955,613. And of that amount, $672,113 goes to that Cotton Arrow Bridge project. Any questions that I could ask for that? Answer.
Anyone have any questions? Okay. Motion to approve.
Mayor Dixon, I'll move to approve item 7B.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. There's nothing further under question. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Problem. Item 7C, El Paso County.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Josh Palmer, County Engineer. The county has 4 contracts to bring before you today, all related to our annual maintenance, or our paving and preservation program. The first is a contract renewal and purchase order to Schmidt Construction for a not to exceed amount of $3,880,000. And this is to provide graveling material for our graveling efforts throughout the county. This project was initially awarded to Schmidt Construction in 2024, and this is the 3rd year of the contract, which allows for up to 5 years of 1-year renewals. The second contract that the county has is a contract renewal and purchase order to Martin Marietta, at a not to exceed amount of $5 million, and this is to support and provide asphalt paving. This contract was originally awarded in 2025, so this will be the 2nd year again of the optional 5-year renewal contract. The third contract is again a contract renewal and purchase order to A1 Chip Seal, and the not to exceed amount of $7 million. And this is to provide materials and resources and labor for the preservation portion of our paving and preservation program. There's a wide, as you can see there in that first paragraph, there's a wide variety of options that kind of fall under this preservation umbrella. So as we work through the board approved paving and preservation list, will apply various types of preservation options to specific roads as applicable. Again, this is a contract renewal and a purchase order. Again, originally awarded in 23, and this is the 3rd year of the optional 5-year renewal. And the final contract that we have is for our annual concrete replacement program. We put out an RFP and selected multiple qualified contractors, and we've been doing this. I believe this may be the 4th or 5th year that we've done this where we've, rather than putting out a single contract and selecting a single contractor, we've gotten several approved contractors and then issued them tasks based on timing, need, locale, and budget. So the contractors that were selected and been pre-qualified are AA Construction, RME, Atlantic Enterprises, Lucky Dog, and Concrete Expert. So it's a aggregate not to exceed amount of $6 million. So as we issue tasks, the overall budget and aggregate contract for various contractors will not exceed $6 million. Those are the 4 contracts that the county has. I'm willing to answer any questions you may have.
I actually have a question. So you said there are 5-year contracts that these contractors are under, and they're given a one-year renewal option each year, at the end of each year.
Correct, yeah, so that we renew it after every year, but the county has the option if things change the contractor and the county has the option to not renew, but we have the option for up to 5 years after the initial award.
Okay, and then after the 5-year period, I assume that would go out.
We re-advertise it, correct?
Cool.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, that's all I was wondering. So, any other questions from anyone else?
Just a comment that the commissioners recently received a presentation from our Public Works Department on the various paving preservation program options, and it was very insightful. And I don't know if we do this here, but I would just recommend that we bring that presentation to this group. Since a lot of the PPRTA dollars go towards this, I mean, these are quite substantial amounts of money that are being requested. And I think it could be beneficial for this council to hear how the county is making data-informed decisions on what roads to preserve versus overhaul completely. I don't think would take very long of our time. And I don't know if that's something we do here, but it was really informative. And I think it could be helpful for this group to hear.
Could I be more than happy to present if that's what the board asked? At this point, I kind of have it memorized, so I could probably do it right now if you really wanted to.
We could put it on a
Sure.
future agenda
yeah.
item if the
Yeah.
board is in agreement. I'll make a motion for that presentation to come to this council. I could get a second.
I'll second.
Wait, hold on. I was gonna say, wait.
For a future meeting, a request for a future meeting to have that presentation come.
So we're still, because we're still gonna approve
Okay,
the contract for 7C. Yes.
okay. It was on my mind because this is so much money that is being approved right here. And I think it would be helpful for this council to see how it's being used in a little more detail. But I can wait and make that motion later.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Nelson. Yeah, I got it written down, so we'll go over that. So, seeing the county's projects now, is there anything else under question? I'm gonna entertain a motion to approve.
Kimberly, so moved.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor Dixon, second.
Okay, we have a move and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And item 7D, City of Manitou Springs.
Hello, my name's Karen Rowe. I am the representative for City Manitou Springs for PPRTA. And we are here in front of you today to request a contract amendment amount for an increase of $186,386.70 for Roxall to finish the design for Lover's Lane Wall. So the Lover's Lane Wall was found in disrepair late 2024. They got Roxall under contract to help with the temporary repair as well as come up with the design for the permanent repair. So the temporary portion of the wall got repaired, is stabilized. However, they felt that additional portions of the wall should be replaced and stabilized just to ensure that it'll be in place for a long time. So that design's moving forward, and Roxall would be designing it, and it would go out for bid either late summer, early fall, and be constructed in late 2026, early 2027. And these are PPRTA 3 capital funds. So with that, I'll see if you guys have any questions.
So we have it on the record. This is just for design, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, if I could interrupt, General Counsel Ivy has her hand raised online.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I do believe there was a clarification, and Rick, correct me if I've gotten myself confused, but I think on the information sheet, there was a clarification that needed to be made related to the funding, the advanced funding portion for this. And I just wanted to get that into the record.
Yeah, and I can expand upon that. Thank you. So on page 2 of the cover sheet, it says PPRTA funds available, 2.4 million are advanced. However, that's incorrect. There will be a total of $2.4 million available. However, the advanced portion is an estimated 1.2 million. So they will have the funds for 2026 and 2027 available. And then request the advancement of PPRTA funds for 2028 and 2029, depending on what the final construction bid comes in at. But that was approved at a previous board meeting.
Yep, thank you very much. That was what the mismatch in my brain was, and Rick said that it was a mistake on here. So this has been previously approved. So thank you.
Okay. Is there any other questions? Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
Kimberly, so moved.
Fred Dixon, second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. On to item 8A, City of Colorado Springs transit reports and our monthly update.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board. Land Rail Transit Division Manager for Mountain Metro Transit. In our report, we included the entire year ridership information for 2025. We wrapped up the year with 4.5% increase on our fixed route side, which is basically around 94% pre-COVID level. So we saw ridership increase mainly on the fixed route growing at a faster pace compared to paratransit, and we're very happy to see that trend. Moving to the transit highlight section, we are really in the middle of our spring service change process. We just concluded our public input comment period last week and received a lot of comments that we will be able to share in the next board meeting. In the spring service change, there are a lot of details included in the packet, and I will just highlight a few things that are pretty important and complex. In the proposed spring service change, we're proposing to offer zero fare for the riders, and the lost fare revenue will be reimbursed through a partnership between MMT, City of Manitou Springs, as well as the city's parking enterprise. So transit will be made whole. Transit riders will be able to connect from downtown Colorado Springs all the way to Manitou Springs, alleviating that parking challenge. Also, we are proposing to increase the frequency on Route 3 in anticipation of that zero fare induced additional ridership. Also historic in our proposal is for the first time we will be adding frequency on the weekend on Route 5 and 25, mainly from downtown bus terminal, Boulder Avenue to Citadel, then traveling up north to the Voyager Transfer Station Academy. So those are the routes for the very first time we're introducing 15 minutes service on the weekend, in addition to the two downtown areas in Manitou Springs and downtown Colorado Springs. So the details are included in this packet. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. We will come back with our conclusion and all the feedback from the riders from the public comment process. We are using a new tool this year to gather people's comments, and we are receiving a lot of feedback. So
we'll be happy to share that next month. Also included in our monthly report is our UCCS Student Pass Program. We were very happy that UCCS is finally back, join us back to our Student Pass Program, offering a special pass to their resident students and also students who are interested, and the UCCS school will be prioritizing those distributions. We participated in their kickoff event, and we are calling this new program Mountain Lion Metro Cards. Students will be able to use those cards. It's a tab on and ride system similar to our Metro rides that we, the Metro cards that we are using for our fixed route riders. We also included a few pictures in the report, and very happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions from the board? Okay. Item 8B, the change order and property acquisition report.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Gail Sturgeon with the City of Colorado Springs. The change order log and the real estate log are in your packet for information. I'm happy to answer any questions should you have them.
Any questions? Okay. Good. And 8C, El Paso County monthly change order and property acquisition report.
Likewise, you have the property acquisition report. There's nothing on the change order log for this month, but happy to answer any questions you may have.
Is nothing on the change order a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know, are you glass half full or glass half empty type person?
There we go. See?
I think it's a good thing. It means that that the contractor and our estimates are more accurate.
Okay.
Usually, that's what it means.
Right. Okay. Moving on. Item 8D, maintenance of effort reports.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The establishing IGA between the 6 member governments contains the maintenance of effort provision. Each February, all 6 member governments are required to submit their next year budget, in this case 2026, and compare it to the base year of 2017 to make sure that they are continuing to spend at least the 2017 amount of non-PPRTA funding in their budgets. So all 6 presented at the CAC, all 6 were found to be in compliance, having budgeted in 2026 more than in 2017. So the CAC's recommendation and staff recommendation to the board is to find that the 6 member entities are in compliance with the maintenance of effort provision. This is an approval item.
Any questions for Rick? Okay. Oh, Mayor Dixon almost to approve. Probably moved to approve. Okay.
I'll second.
All right. Moved and seconded. Nothing else under question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Rick. Administrative actions and reports are legislative report.
I see that Dan Jabland is online.
Take it away, Dan. Yeah, and if you're trying to talk, we can't hear you right now.
Well, in case Dan is in the midst of something at the Capitol, this is Jennifer. I'll just chime in. He has been monitoring the legislation for the PPRTA and sending us weekly updates, and there he is. I've filled enough time.
Yeah, you did good. It was a matter of trying to figure out where the unmute button was.
There you go.
The legislative session, good news is, has got less than 100 days to go now. So we're making fairly good progress. So as Jennifer said, we've been tracking all the bills. currently about 286 bills, plus a few joint resolutions have dropped, 193 bills in the House, 93 bills in the Senate. We have actively looked at 3 bills, actually 2 bills only. House Bill 1065, which is the transit and housing investment zones, which we decided had no bearing on us. We also looked at Senate Bill 22, which was the emission reduction goals, which we didn't have to worry about. There is a bill, not actually a bill yet. It will be a bill in the next couple of days from the interim committee on transit equity. I sent the latest draft to Jennifer and Rick this morning. It came out yesterday. Jennifer's already gotten back with the amendment that we would need to get ourselves written out of that just for more clarity. We've already spoken to the 2 bill sponsors, Junie Joseph from Boulder, Nikita Ricks from Aurora and Denver area, and they both seem very willing to work with us. Obviously, they needed to see the language, but it'd be a big shock if they don't give it to us. They've already given us the indication. They understand our position, so I think that is a really good thing, and we'll take care of that either later this afternoon if they're still around or first thing in the morning. So hopefully in the first chamber, we'll be able to get our amendment on that bill, which would be in the House probably sometime in about the next week or 2. The other big news around the Capitol is the Senate Pro Tem from Aurora, a very thoughtful legislator, Daphne Michelson-Janae, is stepped down effective on Friday to take a job in the nonprofit area. I think this was kind of a surprise to a lot of people because less than a month ago or right before the session start, I met with her and her goal was to be the next speaker or the next president of the Senate. So, you know, things change pretty rapidly around here, but she was a very thoughtful legislator, will be missed. So it'll be interesting to see what the vacancy committee does to replace her. And then also who her replacement on the committees are will probably be more important to us because that's, you know, that's where the votes are. So it's been already an exciting session. Expect more to follow. Again, the big talk around here is anything with a fiscal note is essentially dead. They're still trying to find close to $1 billion to balance the state budget. Happy to answer any questions, but like I said, we've been tracking 2 bills and 1 draft so far of the 286 bills that have come through.
Just to add a little more context for the board on the amendment that Dan was mentioning about the draft bill. This is similar to what we've done in past years. The concern with these is that transit agencies would already be subject to them. And if we don't carve out the PPRTA, there's this question mark of whether we have to have duplicative policies in place. And so as just a funding only entity, we've sought amendments to these type of bills in the past years to just ensure that it's clear that we don't have to have those duplicative policies in place.
Yeah, and the legislators, thanks to the hard work of the board and Rick and Jennifer, are really starting to understand there's a tremendous difference about the folks that are financing the project versus the folks that are actually doing the projects.
Can you name the bill again? Where
That's
you're,
the transit equity. It's going to be the name of the bill, will be the transit equity bill.
does it have a number?
It doesn't. It's only in draft form. The bill will actually get a bill number, I'm guessing sometime by the end of this week, beginning of next week.
Will you come back to this council at some point to seek guidance on whether we want to support or oppose the bill in general? Or how does that work?
Absolutely. As soon as the actual bill draft drops, I will be sending it to Jennifer and Rick, and they will give it their perusal and then probably reach out to the board and be able to take a position on it. And I think that's a great question because things do move very rapidly around here, and we will have to be able to do that, you know, in a lot shorter time than a month. So that's a great question.
And I guess, I don't know, we have not met. I'm Lauren Nelson from El Paso County, and I'm still learning how it works here in PPRTA. And so maybe there's already some legislative guardrails in place that PPRTA has established of here are the things we look for that we would support or would oppose. Is that something that has already been discussed? Because we do have to move so quickly during this time, I recognize.
Yeah, so typically in past years, I mean, the board doesn't usually take support or oppose positions very frequently unless they're specifically asked to or they're specifically being attacked by a bill per se. We've been able to sort of have a friendly dialogue with the legislatures about these type of amendments to carve us out of things that might have an impact. In past years, we have had a delegation for the chair and vice chair to take a position if needed between meetings, but I think we've maybe used that once. So thankfully, fingers crossed, that has been our experience in past years.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad that you guys are working on amendments to account for PPRTA's unique situation. Sometimes I worry that providing amendments will give a nod towards that we're in support of a bill overall. So that was just my concern.
Yeah, no, here usually, I mean, the places you take are support, oppose, amend, or monitor. And amend really means amend. It just means we did, and I think the legislature understands now these are just really clarifications that we're a funding organization for these projects. And so they don't really take it for more than face value.
Okay, thank you so much.
You bet.
I had one question just to put on the record. So you said the president of the Senate is resigning effective Friday. Who is
No, the Speaker Pro Tem, the second in charge is
Oh, okay.
Resigning. Daphne Michelson Janae. If the president and the speaker's not there, she takes over for him. She is resigning. She's from the Aurora area to work for a nonprofit on Friday.
Okay. Are they going to promote, like, say, the majority leader, bump them up or no?
The majority leader is already got a big job. He wouldn't want that because his majority leader is day by day. They will bring somebody else into that position. I do think that the Speaker Pro Tem is less important to me who they choose than what the vacancy committee does and who the vacancy committee puts in there as far as what kind of legislator they're going to be to work with.
Okay. Any other questions for Dan? Thanks for that update. Appreciate it.
You betcha.
Item 10, agenda topics for next meeting. Commissioner Nelson, you want to talk about pavement?
Yes, I would like to request that El Paso County Public Works Department comes and presents on the pavement preservation program that we recently learned as a commission board. Does it need a motion in a second, or how's this work? Okay, so that's my request then.
And let me ask, just Josh, are you comfortable with that? Do the presentation one more time?
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And I think whenever it makes sense for upcoming agendas, planning,
You-
if next month is already packed full, then you can push it,
You let me know when you want to hear it. I'll be ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just bring lights, smoke machine, really up the ante since last time. So
I'll do what I'll do what I can. Yeah.
there you go. Right on. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just for clarity, how long does that presentation often take? Is it 20 minutes, 15? Do you have?
It's 15 minutes. Yeah. Unless there's questions or about 15 minutes. It's fairly quick.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Perfect. So we'll look at the future agenda sometime to share. Okay. Anything else from the board? Okay. Item 11, PPRTA member announcements. Does anybody have anything?
Todd Dixon, Mayor, Green Mountain Falls. I do have a question. If anyone has any experience with these, supposedly a plastic grid that can go underneath road base for steep inclines. I was curious if anyone's got any experience with it, because that's one of the options that may be coming about in our area.
I'd be happy to chat with you more about it offline. I'm sure Josh would as well.
Okay.
But talking about a geogrid, if that's what it is,
Yeah.
we need a little bit more information, I think, to be able to help you.
Okay. All I've got right now is a picture.
All right.
Sounds good. Thanks to the engineers. Rick, go ahead.
As the board is probably aware, staff is working on the 2026 annual report. This is last year's 2025. Page 2 has the picture of the board. So this is your first notice to please bring your Sunday best at the March 11 board meeting so we can get your picture and get it right into the 2026 annual report. I'll send out an email reminder, but this is your first reminder.
So, heard it from Rick. Everybody wear the nice suit. Wear the good clothes. Okay, anything else? Okay, seeing that, entertaining motion to adjourn.
Mayor Dixon also move.
Kimberly, I'll second.
All right, move to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you.